Hey, the next round on becoming a powerful elder, a crone that is in her, rooted in the seat of her power, is to let go of the need to control our environment, need to control others. It is just something I see across the board with older women that I'm around, and it's something that I have to face within myself, is this need to control. And I've been thinking a lot about it lately, and because it is a really disempowering thing. It's disempowering for us because what it's saying is that unless things are done a certain way, then I'm not going to feel good, that I have a certain sensibility, everything has to be right, and if it's not like that, well, then it impacts me. Well, that's disempowering ourselves, ladies, because there's nothing outside of ourselves that can control how we feel about ourselves. That's a choice that we make, is how we feel. So anyways, as I've contemplated on this need for control, this incessant need to like have our environment be a certain way and people act a certain way, what that's really rooted in is that we have a certain sensitivity that's developed over age. It's developed as our menses has gone away and we've been stepping into this new realm of being. And that realm of being is very sensitive. It's very sensitive to the environment around us, as it is sensitive to the higher ranges of things, into our spirituality, into what we're really rooted in. So with that is an incredible opportunity to really share like the grace of God, to be really graceful in our world. And being controlling is the exact opposite of that. But I'm telling you what, it's a tough one, because that sensitivity we have to our environment, we see all the dissonant things. We see like people's energies. It's just like, oh my God, why did you do that? That seemed like so stupid. There's a better way of doing things. There's a way more in harmony of doing things. And we sense all that. So when people are acting in a disharmonious way, and when people are acting in a way that's like there's a better way we feel of doing it, because we're more sensitive to how things are working out. And I tell you what, this is especially true for women with men. And remember, when I talk about men, there's a masculine and feminine principle, but has it incarnates, or has it is represented into men. In particular, us women, sometimes we get to be very unaccommodating and very judgmental and very controlling with the men or the partners around us. Well, this just has to stop, ladies, because this is where stridency comes in. This is where like the whole thing of the old hag, the old, the old witch, because they're really cutting and they're controlling, and all of the things that have given older women like a bad reputation. We play into that as we behave in certain ways. And one of the ways is being hyper controlling. And it doesn't work for others, and it really doesn't work for us, because that's not who we really are. As what we really are as older women are women that are wise. There are women that understand, that can see things at a more in-depth level. But with that, we have to have a more in-depth compassion, a more in-depth, forgiveness for others, for their humanity and for their shortcomings. Even though we've come into this heightened sense of beingness, this heightened sense to our environment, it doesn't make us perfect beings by any sense of the imagination, right? And we don't pretend to be. But when we try to control our environment, what we're saying is that we know better than you. We know better than the people around us what is the right thing to do. And that's very arrogant. Now, it can be based on a lot of truth, yes, but it's not for us to overstep other people's boundaries and to impose our will in the situation. What it is for us to do is to be sensitive and to present these things in a way that would be empowering to the other person, would be presented in a way, because it's all about where we come from, and people can read that. Like, you walk in a room and there's a couple that's been fighting, you come in, hey, hi, and they're like, oh, hi. They smile at you, but you can feel the tensions, you feel the surrounding atmosphere. It's very obvious, what had been happening. There's not harmony going on right at the moment. Just the same ways that when we offer a better way of doing things, people are sensitive to what our energy is, no matter what the words we say. So if you try to clothe your words in a way that, well, I said this and then, that's not being judgmental, that's not being bossy pants. Yeah, but inside you're feeling really bossy pants, and inside you've got this judgment, and you're trying to control, and that person, you've made them wrong for what they're doing, think they're an idiot for what they're doing. Well, that comes across in the words that we use. That's what's imbuing the words with feeling. So what we have to correct first will be where we're coming from with it, and come from a place of compassion. And when we're at peace with ourselves, truly at peace with ourselves, and we feel like we're not out of control inside, we're not lost inside, we're not meaningless inside, that we know our own value, our own worth. And it's not based on an aging outward appearance. It's not based on our weight. It's not based on our monetary level. It's not based on the size of our house. It's not based on any of these things outside of us. What it is, it's based on just the true nature of who we are. Once again, square it back to the truth, ladies. Square it back to that we're divine beings incarnate into these physical bodies, having this physical experience, and know that all is well in the heavens. It's harmony. We come from a place of incredible pure love and acceptance and no judgment. There's no judgment in the heavenly realms and the invisible realms. Judgment's down here. And judgment, there's appropriateness to it. It's a correction kind of thing. It's a check and balance sort of thing. But it's not for us to carry. But when we get to be, find a place of peace and self-acceptance and forgiveness within us for who we are, and we stop judging ourselves for any of these outward things, then we can come from a place with others that we can offer things in a really light way, in a way of lightness, of light. So we can offer correction. We can offer, hey, have you ever thought about, maybe if we just did it like this, that maybe that would work out differently, or God, you're doing such a good job at that. And I was just watching you, I was just admiring what you were doing, but I had an idea. Can I share an idea on how to do it differently? As opposed to well, what are you doing? Why that? And inside you're saying, what a stupid idiot for doing that. Well, it all comes across, and there's nothing good that's going to come from it. And then we become the old controlling bitch. Excuse my French. I do speak a little French. Really not, but Italian. So we don't want to be that lady. We don't want to be that woman, that older woman, that one that people are afraid of because, oh my God, she just shines that light on it, and it's harsh. Let's soften that light of our consciousness, and we soften it. We soften our ability to see things, the reality that we can perceive that's very unique and it's very special and it's very heightened at our age. So if we can offer that with a soft light, and what I mean by soft light is that light where it comes from a place that we're at peace with who we are, we're feeling calm and rested and harmonized inside of ourselves, then whatever's going on out there in the world, whoever's doing what, it's not an irritation. It's I see how that could be better. Let me see if there is an opening that I could maybe offer something into the situation that would help enlighten it and help empower the other person. Make sense? I hope that really makes sense. I'm trying to convey things that are near and dear to my heart, things that I have learned through time and through doing things, the hard way. And this one I'm talking about today, I still work on this on an everyday basis. Well, maybe not every day. I've got good days. And then I got some bad spells, where I get into my really controlling mode. And I've got to oh my God, I got to remind myself, okay, what's really going on here? And look inside and find where I'm feeling out of balance within myself so I can get back into harmony. I can apologize for how I've been acting, and I can correct it, because that's who I want to be. I forgive myself for doing that because I understand. I understand that it's a hereditary pattern within my family, how my mother behaved. I don't know my grandmothers, unfortunately. They never lived long enough, so I don't know the maternal lineage with it, but I dare to say there's probably a long line of that going on. And I just see on whole, with women and this pattern that needs to be reproved. So let's start reproving it. And reproving it is reproving that we don't need to reprove that it doesn't work, but let's reprove it in a way that it works. Let's become new women. Let's allow this next generation of these beautiful young beings. the young woman, I don't know about you, but if I look around nowadays, and yeah, I see a lot of superficiality. I see a lot of young women like really bought into the whole media thing, bought into, defining themselves with technology and with social media and likes and all of that stuff. But I also see this whole other side, this whole other range of young women that are, oh my God, they are just magnificent. They're so in touch with Mother Earth, and with the divine feminine, the feminine arising, and they're beautiful women. Well, I want to help change the world for them so that their light can shine in the powerful way that it needs to shine. And to do that, I need to personally start correcting the patterns that I have inherited, the old patterns passed on from our mothers. Let's like correct that, ladies. Let's like get that right so we can pass on a legacy, no matter if we have children or not. I have never had children, but I want to pass on a legacy to the young ladies. I feel like they are my offspring in a way. They're the next generation of humanity. And I want to have them have a really beautiful, safe space to just be, and the men around them, these beautiful young men, to really be empowered with the masculine and be empowered whatever their choices are in life. What I'm saying by, I'm trying to be a little politically correct without buying into that whole stuff, but we all have choices on how we love who we want to love. And, hallelujah, love who you want, but just empowering each other, and let's take away this toxic femininity, this toxic controlling, femininity, and let's flip it. Let's flip that switch. Let's reprove that. And let's just show that our powerful feminine nature is one about nurturing and loving and uplifting all of creation, helping to uplift humanity by uplifting ourselves first. Compassion and forgiveness for who we are. Step into our true power, our true divinity, and then let that shine. Let that shine by giving other people a break, being compassionate with other people, being non-judgmental. Let our light shine in a way, and in a right way, in a way where it's needed, where it's welcome, where people are able to hear it and they feel good about it. They want to be around us. They want to, like, oh my gosh, she's so wise. Like, I just want to be around. I want to learn from her. And I feel more of me and better of me as opposed to feeling torn down. And this is especially true with our partners. Let's start there. Start within us, and then start with our partners, the people closest around us, or our friends, whatever those close people are. Let's start by practicing these principles with them, and you can make a huge difference, So I hope this was helpful, and please subscribe, and I can bring you some more wonderful content that I hope uplifts and brings a spark of delight and joy into your day. Thank you, and peace in, sisters.